My name is DJ E-Clyps, and today we're going to be talking about the Master Match X plugin from IK Multimedia. Let's get into it. All right, in this video, we're going to talk about the Master Match X plugin from IK Multimedia. It's part of the T-RackS 6 collection. So basically what this does, this is a all-in-one mastering tool that will help you get your recordings to the level you want it to be. Now, the way this breaks down is you have right here, welcome to Master Match X. Let's define your reference track. You can either load a reference track. So then if you have a record that you like the way it was mixed, you like the dynamic range, you like the way that it was EQ'd, you like the loudness levels, you can load this as a reference track and then it will analyze it. You can do it that way, or you can choose from this list. So in this case, you can choose from any of these genres that will help you figure out what you're trying to get that closest to. Also over here, you have your peak meters, and you also have the ability to check your target range. So you can set your volume target range. You can do your standard reference. You can get really music streaming preferences. You can get really in tune with this stuff. So here's the track. So this is the track we're going to try to master, right? So we're going to say, let's go for a hip hop feel. So we're going to click hip hop. It's going to say analyze. It's going to say play the loudest part of your track so we can analyze it to match the reference. We're going to go to the waveform. So it kind of gets a little beefy right in this section right here. So we're going to play that. So when you think you've got it, you're going to hit match and it's going to take you to this screen. So now you have your genre list right here. You have your user settings over here. If you've made your own user settings, you have your input meters, you have your spectrum EQ, you have your output settings, you have your stereo enhancement. You can adjust your stereo enhancement. You have your mono maker. Now, when we go down to here, you can adjust your input level. At any point, you can double click that, take it back to where it was. Now, even though this has analyzed this track and came up with this spectrum of what it feels is the best settings to match those two records, you also have the ability here with the EQ balance to either brighten that mix or darken that mix, so you're not stuck completely to this setting right here. You also have your EQ match, so you can make that really precise or you can dial it back and really smooth those settings out. You also have the ability to add a little bit of warmth to that, and you have the vintage button. The vintage button to me best described as adding kind of like running your track through like a console board. So that's going to give you kind of that console vintage feel. The warmth is going to give you a little bit of the analog warmth, maybe driving through tubes or another analog device of some sort like that. You have your linear phase. If you feel like you need to make sure that things are not going to go out of phase, you can add the linear phase. You have your gain reduction meter right here. You have your compression, so then you can add a little bit of compression or you can scale that back. You also have your compression style, which is gentle, balanced, or hard. I've seen it in most cases is going to stick with the balance, but then you can always go back and tweak that however you want. And then you also have the ability to adjust your limiter. Now, no matter what you do on any of these, if you've decided at any point you want to go back to where you started, you hit this reset knob and you're back flat. So let's see what Master Match X did to the track. So that's what it came up with. Here's where it also gets fun. You have the edit EQ function. By hitting that, now you have the ability to basically bypass. So let's say you wanted your lows untreated. You can then scale that to that point. If you wanted to maybe see how it affected the highs, you can scale that back. So you have high pass and low pass abilities to do so. Also, you can also double click it anywhere in this spectrum and it will create a point for you to adjust those EQ settings. So let's play this track and let's do some tweaks. We're going to add So we're going to do that. Let's add a little bit of vintage mode to that. A little bit of warmth. Now, the stereo enhancement you really want to be careful with, because if you're going to play with the stereo enhancement, I always suggest that people check your mixes in mono. Because if you don't check them in mono and then you play it back on another system, you can find out you really did more harm than good. So play with the stereo enhancement with extreme caution. Also with the monitor maker here, you have the ability to change at what frequency point you want to set. Let's just A/B this and see what we got. And there you have it. That is the Master Match X plugin as part of the T-RackS 6 collection from IK Multimedia. Check it out, have fun with it, and keep making great music. Peace.